In this lesson, we're going to be reviewing skills from Unit 4 on properties in algebraic notation. One of the big things that you need to know is what a variable is. Variables are letters or symbols that represent an unknown number. So when you were in younger elementary school, you were using a blank, a little underline, solve for blank. Now we just change that to a letter or a symbol. Usually we'll be using a letter. All right, in this case, we are showing you these variables now. So what we're going to do is simplify them. Simplifying just means that you can combine as many things that are alike. In this case, I have everything that's x. So I can combine my x's. Right here, I have 1x plus, right here it says 4x. So I can just draw 4x's if I want to help show this better. And then the next one is plus 3x's. So I had 1, 4, and 3. If I add these amounts together, I get that I had 8 x's. So you still need to have this letter because at the moment we don't know what X actually stands for. It represents a type of number. So because we don't know what it is, we can just combine everything that was using it. So again, if I have 11 letter P's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I take away 4 of them, I am left with 7 P's. So I still need that letter, and I have my amount. We can add in parentheses. Parentheses isn't going to change the process. If I have 3 N's and I take away an N, I'm left with 2 N's there. And then I just bring my next amount down, which is plus N. So if I have 2 N's plus another N, I have a total amount of 3 N's. So we're just combining what we can. Next, we're going to take a look at properties. 2 huge properties that you need to know to this year in 4th grade and for many years beyond 4th grade. So this would be a great time to pause the video, take some really good notes, and really get to know these 2 properties. The first property is commutative property of addition and multiplication. Now, we've always seen that order doesn't matter in addition and multiplication. And that's really what this property is telling you. We can either do 4 plus 2, or we can do 2 plus 4. Because we're just adding them together, it doesn't change the amount that you would have as an answer. 4 plus 2 is 6, and 2 plus 4 is 6. Now, this does not work for division or subtraction because order does matter in those cases. So commutative property can only be in addition or multiplication. Let's take a look at multiplication. We have 5 times 6 or 6 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. Again, order didn't matter. They show that they are the same thing no matter which way you order them. The next property is associative property. The associative property of, again, addition and multiplication says that you can change what you add together. A lot of times we do this to add things that make combine to make 10 or easier facts that we've been working on. So We have we can do 2 plus 3 first to get 5, and then 5 plus 4, which is 9. Or we can do 3 plus 4, which is 7, plus the 2, which is 9. So both sides equal 9. It didn't matter which we started with. Notice they use parentheses. Associative property a lot of times is going to be using the parentheses. They do not change the order of where you see the numbers. We started with a 2, then a 3, then a 4. The other side, same thing, a 2, a 3, a 4. All we did was move where the parentheses are. Same thing for multiplication. We can solve them no matter what order. And a lot of times you're going to do maybe some of your bigger facts first to get your answer. And because we're making our numbers bigger, we can do it in any order. Now, again, this does not work for subtraction or division because if we start changing the order, we're going to get different answers. Let's take a look down here. We have an equal sign. That means everything on the left side has to equal or be the same as everything on the right side. So on the left side, I have a 9 and a 6. So my two known numbers are 9 and 6. On the right side, I have the 9. What I am missing that showed up on the other side is the 6. So this was using our commutative property. It was just changing the order of which number went first. Same within multiplication. We have our equal sign here, which means both the left side and the right side have to be the same. My left side has both numbers. It has a 10 and it has a 7. My right side only has a 7. It is missing the 10. Let's take a look at a few associative properties. So again, we can change what order we put our numbers in. We have a 10, a 15, and a 20 on one side. We have the equals. So if I have 10, 15, and 20, my other side better have a 10, a 15, and a 20. Here's a 10. I'm going to cross it out. A blank and a 20. So cross out the 20. What I was missing in my problem on the right side is the 15. Blank times 2 times 3 equals, now in this case, it's my right side that has all three numbers. I have an 8, a 2, and a 3. So now we go back to the left side. I have a 2, I have a 3. What I'm missing is the 8. In order to simplify, once we have all of our known information, we have to follow a very set path. This is the path that was called "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally" to your parents, also known as order of operations. So we are working on order of operations in this lesson. We call it PEMDAS. So the very first thing you always work on are parentheses. Parentheses are these things that hug the numbers. And you do what's inside of it first. We're not going to do exponents because they don't show up as a fourth grade skill. You'll learn those later on. Our next one is the M and the D, which stand for multiply and divide. Now, these ones you might actually be doing divide then multiply because you do these from left to right. So whichever one shows up first is what you do first. Same with the A and the S, which is add and subtract. These are also where you go from left to right. So you might actually subtract and then add. So let's give a few a try. What I like to do is I like to identify which of these letters I have. So this is a subtraction symbol. And then I'm hugging numbers, so that is my parenthesis. So I'm going to do my parenthesis first. I like to draw these little arrows to show I'm combining those pieces of information. Please do that. It's going to really help you. Also, it shows your proof of how you got to your answer. Now, I did not use this 8 minus yet, so I just bring it down. Notice I have to keep it in the same order, because if I switched the orders, I'd get a very different answer. 8 minus 5 is 3. Okay, we have an addition and we have a division. According to PEMDAS, and I really like to write the letters over for each problem, I don't have any parentheses. Exponents isn't a 4th grade skill. MD. Oh, here I have my D. So I'm going to do this one first and this one second. So the two numbers touching the division sign are 12 and 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. I write it right underneath. The 6 plus that showed up before it still needs to show up before it. And now I only have one symbol left, addition. 6 plus 6 is 12. So my answer is 12. Okay, I have a set of parentheses, a set of parentheses, and I have multiplication. Now, you have to do parentheses first in PEMDAS. And a lot of people would say, but there's 2. Well, do the left one first and then go to the right one. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now go to the right one. 4 plus 4 is 8. Now there was something between the parentheses that we have not used. So we're going to drag that down between them. So now we get 5 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40. So our answer is 40. Let's take a look at a few more examples. Sometimes they're going to put in a box or the variable. Again, both of these are variables. This is a symbol, this is a letter, and they both represent an unknown number. So I like to kind of draw a line where I see the equal sign. What I have on this side, the left, I have to have on the right. 49, 17. Those are my two numbers that I have on the left. On the right, I have something and 49. So I use the 49. What is this missing box? It's what's left over, my 17. Again, I have an A, a 2, and a 3. I have a 4, a 2, and a 3. So here's my equal sign. My right side has all my amounts. I have a 4, a 2, and a 3. So now I go back and look over here. I have a 2 and a 3. 2 and a 3. So what I was left with is 4. 4 is my missing amount. Something times 6. Here's my equal sign. 6 times 8. I have a 6 and an 8 on one of the sides. The other side, I have something times 6. So I used my 6. I'm missing the 8. Now it's your turn to give it a shot. If you need help, please seek it out and don't be afraid to rewatch the video. Good luck.